Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dakota's Political Circle. And today I wanted to talk about how Tulsi Gabbard, the former Democrat who ran in 2020, is officially endorsing Donald Trump against her former foe Harris in the 2024 election. Which for me, obviously, not a lot of people know Tulsi Gabbard, which I will obviously talk about that in this video. But Tulsi Gabbard used to be a massive Democrat for several years. Several years she was a Democrat, and she never endorsed Trump whatsoever. And she's just like RFK Jr. She is officially going to be endorsing Trump for president, which is awesome. Obviously, Tulsi Gabbard isn't as popular as RFK Jr. in some circumstances, but she definitely will bring some support over into Trump's column. Obviously, not everyone's going to go in Tulsi Gabbard because Tulsi Gabbard isn't as big as RFK Jr., but I do think it's going to give Trump a bump nonetheless. And also for me personally, I've always been like I wouldn't say a big Tulsi Gabbard fan, but I've always been a fan of Tulsi Gabbard even before she decided to become an independent, and even before she decided to become an independent, especially specifically in 2020, I actually started to become a fan of her. Obviously, there's some things that she's very, very bad on with issues, but then there's other things that I completely like her about. There's just so many good things about her, just like Andrew Yang in a way, except I really like Tulsi Gabbard way better than Andrew Yang. Andrew Yang, me personally, Andrew Yang has a lot of certain things that he's that are really good, just like kind of like with Elon Musk, I guess you could say. He's kind of like Elon Musk politically in some circumstances, but Tulsi Gabbard's different. She has certain things that are different compared to those guys right there that I really support. So I did support her a lot in 2020, other than certain aspects of her that she supported in the Democrat primary. And obviously Trump was running, so I'm not going to vote against Trump because there's not really anyone that could make me vote against Trump at this point. But regardless, Tulsi Gabbard is endorsing Donald Trump, which I will read some of this. So Tulsi Gabbard, she was a former Democrat. I believe she was in the Senate. If not, it was the House. I can't remember exactly. Tulsi Gabbard has endorsed Donald Trump's presidential bid, furthering her shift away from the party she sought to represent 4 years ago, and linking herself to the GOP's nominee's critiques of Kamala Harris and the chaotic Afghanistan war withdrawal. Appearing Monday, a National Guard veteran. She's also a National Guard veteran. I also love her for that. She's awesome. Who served 2 tours on duty in the Middle East before representing Hawaii in the U.S. House. So it was the House, it wasn't the Senate. She said the GOP nominee understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. The pair appeared at the National Guard Association on the 3rd anniversary of the suicide bombing at Hamid Karzai International Airport. And on Monday, Gabbard praised Trump for having the courage to meet with his advisories, dictators, allies, and partners alike in the pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last resort. That's the reason I really like Tulsi Gabbard, honestly, in my opinion. She is a big fan. She is completely against war, and I think that's a great thing. There's a lot of aspects of Tulsi Gabbard that people forget that she's really great at, and it's not just her being a Democrat, former Democrat, supporting like Medicare for all and all of that. She actually does support other things that really mean a lot. But obviously, and at the same time, she didn't win the Democrat convention because obviously the Democrats don't really give a crap about that. But yeah, that's more or less what she talked about. And also, obviously, she was a vocal supporter of Bernie Sanders. I know that for a fact because she had a lot of views of Bernie Sanders. That's the one drawback of her. But at the same time, she has a lot of conservative ones and also a lot of independent views. So she's really interesting in her viewpoints. And just to show right here, this is when she was talking on stage endorsing Trump. I'll show some of it. I won't show all of it.
It is a privilege to be here with all of you, my brothers and sisters in uniform, especially on this day of all days. I had the privilege of joining President Trump this morning at Arlington Cemetery, where he joined 2 Gold Star families and loved ones of Staff Sergeant Hoover and Sergeant G, both of whom were 2 of the 13 killed in the Abbey Gate attack 3 years ago today in Kabul.
I will skip it a little bit.
And their loved ones who continue to grieve to this. As a member of Charlie Med, when I share with you that I know that President Trump understands the grave responsibility that a president and commander-in-chief bears for every single one of our lives. Whether you're a soldier, you're an airman, a Marine, sailor, or a coastie, he keeps us in his heart in the decisions that he makes. We saw this through his first term in the presidency, when he not only didn't start any new wars, he took action to de-escalate and prevent pursuit of peace, seeing war as a last. When we're living through this, I'm committed to doing all that I can to send President Trump back to the White House where he can once again serve us as our commander-in-chief. We are at peace. President Trump has been their first, and we as Americans and freedom as we send him back.
So she basically talked about endorsing him and stuff like that, but mentioned the specific reasons behind it. She did mention that the specific reason why she's endorsing him is because of the no new wars. Obviously, Tulsi Gabbard is a big person that is completely against being in war and starting new wars and stuff like that. And Trump, when he was in the White House, basically did not start wars whatsoever with anyone. He started no new wars. A president that usually presidents always start new wars or start another war or make a current conflict even worse. With Joe Biden, he withdraws from Afghanistan in the worst way imaginable. He's being very, very dumb to give money to Ukraine and possibly even start a war with Russia in a way. So I really do understand why Tulsi Gabbard would endorse him based on these situations. And also it's awesome to have a former Democrat endorse Trump as well, because this is just going to keep going forward and they're probably going to be on the campaign trail with him, RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, which will really help Trump's numbers tremendously. And also RFK Jr. did post about it. He called her Wonder Woman and saying she joined the Justice League, which is really awesome to hear right there, because obviously she is, well, I think she's still serving in the military. I can't remember exactly, but I think she's still serving. But if not, she was in the military. I can't remember. I believe she's still in the military, though. And also, I wanted to talk about this before I keep continuing. I just want to show this. This is a rumor, I guess, that's been going around. I don't know if it's actually accurate, so I'm not going to go full into detail on it. So there's a rumor that's circulating that Taylor Swift texted her manager to kiss my ass and is preparing to endorse Trump for president. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. But this rumor could be possible. I don't want to give it too much daylight because I really don't think Taylor Swift is going to endorse Donald Trump. She was a big Biden fanatic. So I just don't see it happening. But if Taylor Swift did do this, if she actually did endorse Trump, you would see Trump's numbers going up like tremendously. A Taylor Swift nomination for a Republican candidate is probably one of the biggest nominations you can get, because you're going to get that youth vote massively gained. Obviously, for her endorsing Harris, it won't really do much because they're going to vote Democrat anyway. But if you get an endorsement to Trump from Taylor Swift, that's just going to shoot your numbers up tremendously. But I don't want to keep going too much on that rumor. And I also want to show this. So if you don't know Tulsi Gabbard, she actually destroyed Kamala Harris when Kamala Harris did run for president in 2020. And Tulsi Gabbard actually destroyed her on the debate stage. So this is going to be really interesting to see Tulsi Gabbard with Trump, because she could be giving him major pointers on how to take down Kamala Harris on the debate stage when it does happen. I'll show you a small clip here of basically what she said to Kamala Harris to destroy her on the debate stage, and you'll hear it right here in a second.
Back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place. that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
So that's a little bit of a show to show you how much Tulsi Gabbard demolishes Harris on the debate stage, and it really shows how bad of a person Kamala Harris actually is. Like, even just Tulsi talked about it, and you know for a fact it's true when Kamala Harris was in California. So it's just pretty sad to see that. But at least Tulsi Gabbard did show her that she was completely wrong, even though obviously Tulsi Gabbard didn't win the presidency or even win the Democrat primary. At least she demolished Harris and basically made her get out of the race because of how bad she did. And to show you right here, I just want to show you, just to show you how bad Harris did. So obviously Harris was a candidate. So I'll show you right here just to show you that Kamala Harris was a candidate. So Kamala Harris is, I believe, somewhere here. There's Kamala Harris. She was a candidate for 2020. And look right here. These are all the candidates that got pledged delegates. You do not see Kamala Harris on here because she did crap, completely crap in 2020. And she's literally the Democrat nominee and didn't even get voted in for it now. It's just absurd. And then there's Tulsi Gabbard that got 2. Obviously, she didn't do that great, but at least she got 2. Tulsi Gabbard got more delegates than Kamala Harris ever did in an election. I mean, in a primary. So it just shows that, I mean, Kamala Harris is just really, really bad and honestly shouldn't even be president whatsoever. And it's just crazy that she's basically the nominee for the Democrats without even going through a process. It's just pathetic. And also to show you right here, so this is the general election looking at how it looks right now with Trump versus Harris. It's a Harris 1.5, so it's still basically where it was because there haven't been really any polls that came out recently when Kennedy did endorse Trump, so we have to wait to see about polling. There is one poll I actually have that is specifically after the Kennedy endorsement, so I'll show you that right now. So here is the poll. It's from Echelon Insights, and it is a Trump +1, a Trump +1 without Kennedy. Without Kennedy, it is a Trump +1, which is insane. And this is right after the Kennedy endorsement did happen, so this is right after it. So it is really showing the Trump effect and the Kennedy effect as of right now. And then you got Tulsi Gabbard in there, so you're going to see so many effects when it comes to this. And you might see Trump, I wouldn't say up, but I'd say very, very close to being up in polling. It really just depends how much RFK Jr. support he actually gets. But as of right now, it's really looking good for Trump. And I really don't know why it's not in this aggregate. It really should be. That Trump +1 literally should be in this aggregate as of right now. But for some odd reason, they really don't want to include it. But it is a Trump +1 as of right now for this specific pollster. And in the full field with Stein, Oliver, and West, it is a Trump win overall, but it is a tie, basically. But it is really interesting to see that, especially with a Kennedy endorsement. That's just awesome to see. But I did want to talk about how Tulsi Gabbard did officially endorse Trump. If you don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is, I will include this article as well as the video of the throwback video I just showed you about the debate. So you'll get a little bit of a gist who Tulsi Gabbard is in a way. And also you can look her up as well. She's a veteran, so she is a very awesome person, even though she has certain views that are very, very, very Bernie Sanders. There are also other views that are completely right-wing and great as well. So it just really depends how you look at her. In my opinion, Tulsi Gabbard's a great person. I think if she ever became a president, I guess you could say, I think she'd do pretty well, even though if she does have very liberal views. But in a cabinet role, though, specifically, I think she'd do an amazing job, depending on what cabinet position you would want to put her in. In my opinion, I'd probably put her in foreign policy, maybe. I'd probably say foreign policy because she is very, very good with foreign policy. That's probably where I would put her, but obviously Trump gets to choose that if he wants to put her in a cabinet position. But anyway, guys, I really want to talk about this endorsement today. My next video will probably be about the new RFK Jr. polls when they do come out, like the RFK Jr. endorsement polls. So all the polls that come out this week, I'll do a video on so you guys know how well the RFK Jr. endorsement has done so far. But other than that, I just wanted to make this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. My next video will obviously be out whenever that video does come out. It'll probably be by the end of this week. I'm guessing like Thursday maybe Wednesday, depending on if more polls do come out. But other than that, really not sure if there will be any other more videos. It really just depends on what ends up coming out. It really just depends. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.